With only a few days to go for the release of the 2017 Matric results, the Eastern Cape is hoping not to be at the bottom of the class. The province has had the worst results for the past 6 years. Last year, the province showed a slight improvement, but not nearly enough to lift it from the bottom rung. But amidst the bad performances, every year there are outstanding students, some who triumph over their adverse conditions, while others just use their opportunities to the fullest. The SABC caught up with some university students who were top achievers at their rural and township schools in the Eastern Cape.
The Eastern Cape is a big province, of which a large percentage consists of rural areas. Education, seen as the key to a better future and a way to empower the youth, still faces a number of challenges. These challenges also seem to increase as social ills affect communities. Poverty remains one of the biggest problems facing numerous communities. The Education Department is looking at ways to implement mechanisms to aid scholars. The province has the second highest percentage of learners in the country that do not pay school fees, many who then complete Matric and need financial assistance or bursaries to study further.
Rhodes University, become accounting, and I find university very difficult, very challenging.
It was doing analytical chemistry. It's quite nice. Challenging, fun. Being the lab is one of my things.
Unfortunately, the narrative is not the same for everyone. Technology and resources in rural schools are still limited, and access to financial assistance is not at their fingertips.
Students must work very hard. Whereas students that come from poor families like me, we are suffering financially.
Last year, I didn't apply in the middle of the year. I applied in Fort Hare early last year, this year. I applied in Fort Hare, but I didn't get accepted. So I ended up in Wusu, where I pulled out because of financial issues.
Students from under-resourced schools are at a disadvantage when and if they make it to university.
Coming from here, this environment is very different from varsity, and basically, we don't have microscope here. So it was very difficult for me to use a microscope at varsity because I didn't know how to.
The thing is, you have to speak English all the time. And what else? Meeting different people with different things, like different backgrounds, and all the stuff. You remember, I come from here in the township, and then other people come from Joburg, and all the thing is, have to learn.
Despite the challenges, students will do anything to secure a good education.
Starting from January, we're supposed to work 7 hours. The school is supposed to start at 7:45 to 7:45. We start at 7, and the earliest we leave is 4:30. That's the earliest. And from there, you work with them, they sleep here, you stay here until 10. This community is very fortunate in that there are young men and women here who want to do that.
We do interventions like extra classes, Saturday classes, especially we prioritize those subjects that learners are not doing well. We prioritize them for the extra classes, for the Saturday class, especially life sciences, agric sciences, and maths lit.
Last year's Matric results were slightly better than 2015. The pass rate improved by 2.5 percentage points from 56.8% in 2015 to 59.3% last year. To make the cut, educators and scholars are forced to create and adopt extra measures to ensure that scholars are given an opportunity to empower themselves.
One of the strategies we use here is that whenever there's going to be an exam, we've got something called a camp. You will not have an idea of what a camp looks like. You will think of the camps that you've seen. You don't know that we mean an open room with mattresses on a cement floor and something like that. The aim is to keep your children away from external influences.
Last year, the Minister of Basic Education applauded the improvement in science and maths marks by black students, also that of the overall pass rate of progress pupils. Bursaries are also key, and underprivileged learners aiming for university go all out to perform in hope of securing one.
Everything, there's no need for me to be worried about food, about the tuition, about everything. It's paid for. I don't need to stress my parents because my father doesn't work. He's a taxi driver, so I'm dependent on him. So you say the bursary helps a lot at home. Also, I can do some certain things at home, maybe like cut my grocery like a little bit and then give my father at home,
My background is not that, what I can say. Okay, my mother's not working and she's disabled. So it's very helping for me because I don't need money.
Last year, 92,000 Eastern Cape Matric pupils started the school year, but only 82,000 wrote their final exams.
I want to believe that drugs, just drugs, are responsible for a lot of children who are not at school. A whole lot has been done to ensure that those who are at school are kept at school, food, books, teachers. I'm not going to say everything, but a lot has been done. But you're going to leave this place and go to the highway and find a whole lot of teenagers not going to school.
The Eastern Cape still faces a tough time. 200 schools in the province have been found to be dysfunctional. 5 districts had less than 50% pass rate. But efforts are in full swing to improve the situation. Non-performing schools have now been partnered with performing schools in an attempt to improve results. Ivwe Poti, SABC News in the Eastern Cape.